Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a SteelSeries Southeast Asian Cup Season 3 presentation of MiTH-Trust versus First Departure. This is the third game in the Best of 3 series. Brought to you by Dota Talk. I'm Blaze. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. Fun games, especially Game 1. Oh my gosh, was that a game. But Game 2 wasn't too shabby. In the end, the series is now 1-1. If you're jumping into Game 3, I highly recommend going back and at least checking out Game 1. What a game. But yeah. Not gonna jump into that again because I could talk about it for like half an hour. I could. In fact, I talked about it for about an hour. So, yeah. But going into the draft, let's see here. We got MiTH-Trust banning out the Timbersaw and the Visage. First Departure contemplating their ban since they only have second pick. They have taken out the Naga Siren. What else don't they want to see? They don't want to see Elder Titan, Life Stealer, Anti-Mage. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, get some game sounds going. You get those drums a pounding. And let's see how this draft proceeds. I want to see Invoker and Night Stalker and all this Rumble Fight Contact esports. That's what I'm talking about.
Dire team pick.
So, getting underway, we see already that, I mean, honestly, the way I would look at this is that the second game was pretty much a stomp in favor of First Departure, in favor of Miracle, and the first one was very close to the point that it didn't seem like a game that First Departure should lose, but they were just under a little bit too much pressure. From a lot of different angles. So essentially, I think they're going to go with the game plan of Miracle playing the carry role and Hannah kind of just taking a step down to off lane or something along those lines. And beyond that, we're going to see lanes break down pretty quickly with Lich sacrificing to negate some experience advantage. That'd be pretty big.
Radiant team pick.
So this has been an interesting series. It really has. And as much as I like a co-caster and love to bounce ideas back and forth with them, and I think it fills the content a little bit, there are some points like Game 1 where I can't see that happening. I can't see that back and forth because there's just action going everywhere. Of course, it would have helped me not miss a couple of kills early on in Game 2, but you know. I'll still try to get somebody to consistently co-cast for Dota Talk TV3 in the near future, which is where I'm going to be covering my games. So check it out. Click that follow, and I'll be sure to bring you guys awesome Dota 2 content as often as I can. Anywho, Batrider first pick. Haven't seen him in play for quite some time. He's either banned out or neglected. It's actually pretty interesting. People are afraid of him because of what he used to be able to do, and he still can do, but whether or not people are willing to go up against him as opposed to heroes like Lich and Timbersaw and things like that, it's a completely different story. So Batrider is going to have the potential to initiate long range, but is pretty limited by his vision now. He doesn't have that much mobility, he has weak base damage, so it's harder to 1v1 lane, and especially denying your own creeps, it's almost impossible. And if you're up against something like a Night Stalker who pops darkness off, then suddenly you are completely blind. You're not able to initiate because you can barely get in range for your lasso. You don't see what's coming despite having flying vision, and it's just not a good time overall. So I think the Darkseer pick is really good. The Batrider pick can be really good, but we'll have to see. Right now, Anti-Mage is a good hero to deal with Batrider, but also a good hero to get completely screwed over by Batrider. If the lasso is the exact disable you're looking for to actually lock down an anti-mage. You magic immunity piercing, you target fire, you bring him down, and on top of that they have the wall of replica, so they can, when you're talking about fighting an anti-mage that has 2 clones from the Manta, that's countered by 1 from the Darkseer himself, so which is actually substantially stronger. So of course the mana break only propagates 1x over, but it's still relevant. Anyways, a very keen disruptor ban. These are 2 heroes that rely on casting a lot. It's also very annoying to blink away and then immediately get glimpsed back just because they have some good long-range vision. And all in all, it's very, very difficult to deal with when a Darkseer is on the field. Vacuum into kinetic static. Boom.
10 seconds remaining.
But we'll see. Maybe we'll see some Invoker action, some RP between Magina and Carl. But for right now, a lot of casters getting banned out. No Disruptor, no Pugna. I'm actually curious why they're afraid of the Pugna here. Like, I've seen them, I saw them 5th ban Pugna the previous game, or a game before that, I don't know. But
5 seconds
why is Pugna threatening here is my question. And, I mean, you get continuous drain, but you got a vacuum combo, vacuum into Nether Blast, the lasso with the life drain, where you can do a lot of burst magic damage by hitting a Decrepify on a target. I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal, especially when you got Spell Shield. You've got Spell Shield on your Anti-Mage. Things like Mischance are much more prevalent, so Keeper of the Light comes into play. Pugna? I don't see it, but yeah. Nevertheless, MiTH-Trust takes it off the board. Keeper of the Light selected for first departure. And as lore, although he hasn't been as meta-relevant as I would expect of him, he's still a very, very strong hero. Great for counter push. Great for clearing waves that Anti-Mage is pushed all the way to the tower. And on top of that, you try to blink away, he's going to mana leak you, and that'll cause it, make it so that you can only blink once or twice. It's actually pretty brutal. On top of that, the Mischance is good for negating some physical damage. So until Anti-Mage gets the Manta style, that's going to be coming into play very readily. And on top of that, we're already talking about vacuum combos. We're already talking about AoE magic damage. Who better than the guy that can charge up nuke that can total up to 500 damage? It's ridiculous. But to answer, we do have a Clockwork. Great for picking off heroes. Not great for against Batrider because of the Firefly deal. He can just go right over the cogs. But heroes like Keeper Light, who are just trying to set up the perfect counter push, easy to pick with a good Rocket Flare and then a flanked initiation. But now we see the classic combo, Phantom Lancer, Keeper the Light. If there's somebody who can go toe-to-toe with Anti-Mage, this certainly is the fella. So, looking forward to see exactly what PL is going to do for this match. But in the meantime, yeah, he's just going on the lane, on the safe lane, and is going to be farming away. Maybe with Midas, you know. It happens.
5 seconds remaining.
I expect to see a few Midases here. Let's see, Phantom Lancer and Darkseer are pretty much a given. Coddle would be funny, because you can farm out the jungle pretty quickly, get it at a 18-minute timing. Anti-Mage, of course, because this Lakel's Anti-Mage. You gotta do it. I don't know. If I see any more Midases, I might just lose my mind, but we'll see.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Now, somebody mentioned something about the Nether Ward coming into play against First Departure, and I still don't think that that's that big of a deal. Like, they exhaust a lot of mana from Darkseer's abilities, but not that much from Batriders. It isn't going to stop him from blinking in, from force staffing out. It hurts a bit, but I honestly think it's manageable. So yeah, here we go. Trying to finish off this draft. See what MiTH-Trust are afraid of most. They already have to deal with the Cancer Lancer, combined with the Cottle of the Light. What do we counter with? What do we answer back with as a ban? Okay, so you got a lot of mana on the field. Maybe something like a Storm Spirit would be very problematic because of the fact that he can jump in, counter-initiate against Clockwork, pull on Anti-Mage, things like that. He can also really screw over the Chain Frost. Chain Frost heads his direction, he just zip-zaps out and can completely take it out of the fight. So I really do think that Storm Spirit would be the most prudent ban. But that being said, he's not the first thing to jump to mind. When you see a Darkseer and you're afraid of Vacuum, when you see a Batrider and you know he's going to be picking somebody off, it might not be the biggest deal in the world in your mind. But in my mind, I still think he adds a lot to it. He adds range of initiation, he adds follow-up against Clock or 4-Bat, and of course he benefits a ton from the Chakra Magic. I want to go back and talk about the Shadow Demon pick a little bit. Of course, it's a great support for Anti-Mage in general, because it makes it so you can get 3 illusions, whether pounding on towers or anything really. It's just really, really good to have. But most importantly, I would say that, well, actually, I've also forgot to mention that you can disrupt against the Phantom Lancer and create an illusion army of your own, if you're lucky. But the biggest thing, I think, in this matchup here for the Shadow Demon is that he can defensively disrupt against Batrider or offensively disrupt the Batrider himself. In either case, you make that lasso a lot less worthwhile. If you can get the disruption off before the Force Staff, the reposition doesn't matter. The lasso expires, and you're good to go with your team fight as you want to, on your terms, and that's a pretty big deal. On top of that, there's a couple other things: purging the Darkseer's surge, minor details like that. So not too big, but still relevant.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
So I don't see First Departure putting out too much pressure, but once they get a couple of items on each hero, obviously the blink on Bat, at least a mech or a pipe on Darkseer, then I think they'll be feeling confident to take fights and start pushing aggressively. Anti-Mage, I think they're actually pretty okay with letting him get the Battle Fury. I don't think that's the biggest threat, because Phantom Lancer with 2 items is equivalent to Anti-Mage in 3, with 3 in the middle of a fight. Of course, the split pushing is a completely different story, because Anti-Mage is pretty much the most annoying split pusher in the game, alongside his buddy Furion. But with some good disables, as we see here, with a couple of good items on the Phantom Lancer, I really do think the First Departure have the better lineup right now. So MiTH-Trust, they got the Lich. We'll see if it actually adds up with that experience deficit. But they still have 1 pick to go. How will they finish this lineup off?
Seconds remaining.
So let's say they put... Okay. I guess they just kind of like need a mid. Like a Timber or Dragon Knight. Might be pretty good. I really do like DK versus PL in general. Like the cleave aspect late game, the stun aspect early game. They go for the Quap though. Quap of Pain versus Caudal of Light. It's pretty cool. I'm curious to see exactly how much impact he'll make on the mid lane. Considering it's probably going to be Ryga on the Queen of Pain, mid versus Batrider on the mid or feet on the Batrider. But to that extent, it could technically be the Clockwork. It could be the Clockwork on the mid, and Queen of Pain can find her movement elsewhere. Oh wait, I forgot. That's huge. Okay, this is a huge change to this matchup that I just remembered. Queen of Pain can now disjoint this Lance from Phantom Lancer. So 12-second cooldown on a rank 1 blink. Phantom Lancer has a 7-second cooldown on Spirit Lance. So until you get blink down to at rank 3, you're not going to generally be able to disjoint every Spirit Lance, but you'll be able to avoid a lot of them. And comparing the mana cost, you of course are looking at 60 mana as opposed to the 125 to 140. And Chakra Magic early on isn't going to be the biggest deal in the world. So we'll see. Ryga, aka Bungsel Roti, BSR as I call him, is going to be going, I believe, on that off lane with the Queen of Pain, just because of that disjoint aspect, where you can dodge the projectile, you can get out of the Illuminate easily, you can avoid the Spirit Lance, and then what else are they going to do to you? Unless they get the Hex to start off, which is actually a base duration of 2.5, which is kind of incredible. Unless they start off with the Hex, Queen of Pain is in no trouble in that offlane. So I actually expect that to be the rotation. And then Abba can play the Clockwork on mid as he pleases against Bat, which is a pretty good matchup. If you get a Magic Stick, you're pretty much good to go. So we do have some technical issues for Abba here. Actually, at first it was Ryga that disconnected, but now Abba's the one taking its toll. Tactical disconnect, whatever. In the meantime, we'll see how active Shadow Demon and Lich want to be on supportive items. So if they're going to... A lot of teams right now invest, pretty much make it so that the number 5 support buys every single supportive item there is, and then the number 4 is saving up for his first core item, to the point that you could get an extra Midas, or you can get a move towards maybe some teamfight items, a Mechanism, an Aghanim Scepter, something like that a lot more rapidly. So I think that's actually kind of the trend that we're seeing here, especially for MiTH-Trust. I'm curious to see which one they find more farm reliant. I would presume it's the Lich, but we'll see. the meantime, they're connected back in, but we are not just yet good to go. Lion's a fun pick. I think Lion's actually going to work pretty well in this setup here, as long as he doesn't go mana drain. I say that because like the last 8 Lions I've pubbed with have gone mana drain, but it's not bad for self-sustainability on the lane just draining a creep, but it doesn't do anything for you in the actual fight. So in this situation, I prefer him to buy a couple buy a clarity if necessary, otherwise just rely on the chakra magic, and let the disables do the talking. Big impales, big hexes. You can make a pretty big impact on just the Queen of Pain, and move in towards completely screwing over everybody else across the map with that Finger of Pain. Because nobody's going to have a cloak early. Anti-Mage is the only one with magic damage mitigation, so I really do think that a couple early levels in Lion and Kai's going to be in a good spot. Right now, let's go through the rosters. Miracle is going to be running on the Phantom Lancer. Hannah, once again, on the Darkseer. He did get a solo kill previously, so don't count him out. Keep your eye on him. Mid or feed, running the Bat Rider, and then Lubby is the one to keep her light. So looking over at MiTH-Trust, of course, TNK is on that Shadow Demon. As far as item buildup, he kind of just went for the standard stuff. Lich, on the other hand, did end up buying both the Sentries and the Observers, so pretty interesting. And he has been picked up by SD, of course.
30 seconds.
From there, BSR is running currently in the mid lane for the Queen of Pain with that Magic Stick. Definitely going to win that matchup. But that leaves Abba on the off lane up against currently Bat Rider. Interesting matchup shift. Interesting matchup shift. This is next level meta. Like this is okay. Well, we want to put Queen of Pain. Essentially, they want to put Bat Rider on the bot lane to try to get the matchup versus the Queen of Pain.
The battle begins.
And Queen of Pain is already ready to go to match up against the Bat Rider on the mid. In the end, both of these teams seeing into each other's strat and misreading it has resulted in favorable lanes for MiTH-Trust, because now he gets the Magic Stick versus the Chakra Illuminate and the Phantom and the Spirit Lance, and he can disjoint all of it. So as long as he picks up Blink level 1, he's actually going to have an amazing lane here. But already taking some hits and having to chew through some tangos. There it is. There's the Blink. And in the meantime, Clockwork, Abba, no Magic Stick yet, but 200 gold. He just chews through one tango and he'll have it, and he can go toe-to-toe with mid or feed. Meanwhile, up on top lane, double damage Hannah going to town on the kills. The kills really wants those last hits. Only finds one last hit, 2 denies. And has taken quite a bit of harassment, speaking of. Now TNK running from the Ion Shell and trying to zone him out a little bit here and there. It's turned into a kind of a 2 versus 2 here in the mid lane. Chakra Magic from Lubby onto Miracle. And then we do have Lich rotating in to lend some assistance. Actually on top lane, a little bit of engagement here. Kai taking a lot of damage. He will be the first blood. Lion came to get into the action. Instead, he gets disrupted and takes too many hits. So Darkseer really doesn't have anything to save him. Ranked 1 Ion Shell is not going to be enough damage to force them back. So they went in, they went pretty hard, and now actually burning some mana from Darkseer as well. Hannah only has 2 Ion Shells left. Down on bottom, Abba has that Magic Stick. Has, I believe, used it once over. Yeah, there's too much spellcast not to have done so. And Midderfeed's now going to have a harder time in the lane. Starting off 7-1, great for him. But this Clockwork CS is going to rise very, very quickly. Hannah in a bad spot, disrupted, Soul Catcher, but there is the Hex on the legitimate Lakels. And now diving TNK if he got stunned. If this Lion was level 2, that would have been a kill. Still taking a lot of hits. But it looks like TNK will be able to get out. Luckily for him, the Lion has been roaming so much, he's still not got barely a drop of experience 2 minutes into the game. But TNK going deep for that, trying to finish off that Darkseer. Bit of a misplay. Not losing too much out of it, though.
Dire's middle tower is
So it comes to this. The third game of this best-of-3 series. What a series to conclude upon. SD making his rotations, just stealing experience wherever he can with that sacrifice. And forcing the Bat Rider back a little bit here and there. That does leave BSR solo on the mid lane, but Like I said, he has the tools to deal with this if he times his abilities appropriately. Instead, taking a lot of harassment. And I gotta say, the disjointable Phantom Lance not really being capitalized on. Battery Assault on to Batrider. Doesn't have mana for Firefly. You're taking a lot of hits. Why'd he go west? Had to go to his tower to survive. Instead, trapped in the cogs. And he will fall. I guess it didn't really matter which way he went. The corner of the cog would have picked him up anyways, but not a loss you want down on the bottom lane. He needs to move in towards his Blink Dagger. Instead, he spends all of his gold to make sure he doesn't lose any on that magic wand. PSR, oh, taking a lot of hits here. Knows that the Keeper Light can't really follow up, but Miracle himself. Oh, Magic Stick, baiting out the last lance, but really, is it worth it? He's still going to keep his mana up. It's just a lot to lose. Staying in range of that lance and eating one after another. It's painful. And right now we see the top rune go to First Departure.
Regeneration.
So Kel's farming rapidly towards that Battle Fairy, not going for the Midas build-up. Actually putting some pressure now onto Hannah. The disruption, they are going to be able to body block him here within the trees. Oh, he's going to surge to the east, though. This might be enough. If they had actually positioned themselves right here and right here, because of the tree's positioning, they can actually get a full body block. But hard to synergize that at that very moment in that short 2.5 second duration. So in the end, Darkseer does get away, but forced off the lane once again. Hannah, long walk of shame home. Or is he just going to stay in Iron Shell? Either way, not in a great place. No, just going to fall back. Meanwhile, down on bottom, looking for some movement on the Batrider, but just harassing. At least for the moment. At least until they get the hook shot. That's so close at hand. With that sacrifice, one more creep kill. They're going to be able to go on it, but here comes the Batrider. They already got the stun. Actually missed the stun. Now the Clockwork goes with the hook shot. The blast is there. Now Cog inside the fire. SD, no! Trapped in. Too much damage from the Firefly. The Flame Break will finish it. Abba kills his own teammate. Now we see Batrider dropping low, but doesn't fall. It's Lich to drop with Lubby in a very interesting spot, dropping a very interesting Illuminate. Abba only able to claim the Lion in this once more, but can he actually close the distance? Lubby, no boots. Abba with boots. He does connect with the Battery Assault. Gets a couple right clicks in, and that is going to be a second kill for him. Still, double kill, but kind of a painful one, as we do see Lich. Ooh, nice blink in. Damage coming out onto Phantom Lancer. But again, Lich dies at the hand of his own allies' cogs. Trapped in there, that wasn't a really good spot to be. And I don't know, it was a little bit off timing. Luckily for them, they were still able to make a lot out of that, mostly because of the Lion missing his Impale, or Earth Spike, sorry. If the Earth Spike had connected, I think that would have been over a lot quicker and with fewer casualties for the Radiant. Illusion Jukes. Looks like that is going to be a Drums of Endurance rush or a Diffusal Blade rush. Interesting to see Miracle go something not Midas. No kidding, but still, Robe the Magi first, just for the mana pool. Interesting, interesting. So Abba now going for the treads, the dust, the magic wand, every little thing he could want to engage in team fights very, very shortly. So he's most likely going to TP in, not to bottom lane, but somewhere top or mid, and try to put pressure elsewhere. Some offlane players like to keep farming, but in my opinion, once you have that hook, you have all these fighting items, you get into the combat. You get a pick off here, right on top of Phantom Lancer, screamed, waved, burned down. I don't even know if they needed the Sonic Wave, but certainly was flashy. Ooh, Lich on the back end eats a full Illuminate. 2 points in that is enough to finish him off. Yeah, they committed so much to that. He got the hook, they got the scream, and brought the Phantom Lancer down to 20% HP, but because he had the magic wand, they pop both the Sonic Wave and the Dust of Appearance. A little bit of a waste, but Still, the bottom line is they got the kill they were looking for, only with one extra casualty. SD not having a great game. 2 deaths that, in my opinion, didn't have to happen, but that's how the cookie crumbles. Now Lakel's taking some hits from the... Oh, gets the... Oh, they get it. They get the disruption. Doesn't matter about the napalm, actually. He is going to get lassoed with the Firefly active. Going off-road, going into the mountain. And around the mountain we go. Batrider will survive, fall back, and probably head back to the fountain, but doesn't really get much out of his first... Is that the first lasso or the second? I'm going to guess it's the first. Because they really didn't use it in the bottom team fight. Either way. Didn't really get too much out of it. But let's check out more than just the last hits. Let's look over to net worth. We see almost 4,100 for Lakel's, closing in on his Claymore. Nothing else on the Courier, so he is just over halfway to that Battle Fury. Actually probably the worst time Battle Fury we've seen, just because of how free farmy it's been prior to this point. But he has been dealing with the Darkseer, and that's a pretty frustrating thing to deal with. In the meantime, it looks like it is going to be a Drum of Endurance rush for Miracle. And that means he wants to survive and fight very early as well. Nice farm for the Batrider. Going to allow him to get his Blink Dagger once he heads home, and that's going to set up his second lasso to be much more successful. He just has to make sure he's nowhere near TNK. TNK's disruptions can really, really screw him over, like I said in the draft. So that's one thing that he does have to account for in every single one of his initiations. Okay, hookshot will connect onto the Phantom Lancer. They're going to start with the Illuminate, but just too much damage is being received. Miracle will drop down. Hannah eating a bit of the Sonic Wave as well. The Illuminate not doing too much as Queen of Pain immediately moves for the double damage rune. And there's no way to punish this. Oh, wait, there is. Oh, my goodness, did I misspeak. There's a huge amount of damage. There is his death. Blink Dagger, Batrider coming on in, using that lasso for all that it's worth. And that was really, really what they needed. I mean, I was thinking, okay, they don't have a glimpse, they don't have their own kind of hook shot. The long-range initiation wasn't there, but it was just off-screen, mid or feed with that blink. Chain Frost now available for Lich, as well as soon to be a rank 4 Frost Blast. But Phantom Lancer's just trying to avoid the fights for now. Just trying to farm. He knows that if he can at least match Anti-Mage in farm, he'll be in a great position. But it's taking its time. A lot of good stacking coming out from the Radiant. Gonna help out Darkseer or Batrider. Pick up their next big item down bottom. A little bit of harassment from the Battery Assault. They do connect with the Lance. Are they gonna get the Hex? It looks like they're in range. He's inside the cogs, but he's gonna get knocked back. Kai. Not sure. I'm almost positive he was in Hex range if he just used it, but wanted to wait out the Cog's expiration and instead misses out on a kill opportunity. Either way, maybe better that they don't overcommit. Their general stance right now is play as passively as possible. Get Darkseer some levels, get Phantom Lancer some gold, and from there they should be able to take the fights. So with that passive stance, I guess it's not too bad that they missed out on that opportunity. Still, Miracle pushing up aggressively. Gonna see a Lance. There's that lasso, and TNK is gonna drop. Like I said, if Shadow Demon can disrupt, then you might as well just take him down instead. And it looks like Abba will fall as well. Miracle getting some nice wanted gold there. So he has the drums. He has Bottle, Magic Wand, in a great position to move in towards his next big item, whether it be Yasha, Diffusal, whatever. In the meantime, Anti-Mage closing in on that Manta. Why do I say that? Battle Fury. It's been quite a few amazing games today. I've casted at least 4 games today, and now going into number 5. Not the biggest stretch, but when you're missing out on lunch, maybe you're misspeaking a little bit there, so sorry about that, guys. Battle Fury almost up for Anti-Mage, and that's a big deal. BSR Invis, stalking prey again. Phantom Lancer could be dropped. There's the hookshot. They have the Scream, and that is going to be a double kill. Really, really nice movement from the Invisible BSR, setting up some great kills. And on top of that, claiming a couple of very important wards. One high ground, one low ground. And the deed is done. Mechanism in progress for Keeper of the Light. Gonna require about 500 more gold to finish that one up. Oh, no, guys. Double buckler Dota. Keeper of the Light and Darkseer. One of them didn't get the memo. Both of them didn't get the memo. Either way, they are stacking up on things that really do not benefit twofold. So that is kind of unfortunate. Good time mechanism, but still wasted mechanism nevertheless. That 2,300 gold could be so much more with something like a 4-staff against a clockwork. Oh my goodness, Keeper of the Light would be in such a better position if he had that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Link around the jungle. It's pretty apparent to them that there is a gank coming, but not to BSR. There was a gigantic circle showing they were discussing the potential threat coming forth from their own jungle, but there comes the Blink Bat Rider. And BSR hopefully learns his lesson here. In the meantime, Tier 1 gonna fall. Just mostly hero damage, bringing it down. It's gonna be Lich to take the last hit.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Well, where's Anti-Mage? Kells is actually kind of all by himself right now. Does have a big item coming out, but has to take care of that courier. It's flying through enemy territory. The Radiant see it, and it is a pretty big kill if they can prevent it. So that's what exactly what Kai is trying to do. The safest play is to leave the courier in base right here and Lakel's TP back home, but I'm not too sure. Right now, it's fluttering its little wings with haste on cooldown. I'm actually going to go for courier cam. I don't usually do this, but this could be such a big kill. No, he is going to blink, grab it off the Corey, and it's going to be perfectly fine for them. Meanwhile, 4-staff in progress for Clockwork. Looks like, not too sure, Vlad's maybe. Got the Clockwork and the Phantom Lancer in a mix. And it's going to be the Phantom Lancer to fall. The nice defensive disruption to keep him up, but Illuminate will charge. A lot of damage to come out. Abba barely avoiding it to the south. I'm sorry, that's Tranquil Boots. Tranquil Boots Magic Wand coming in for SD, meaning that their own mechanism, will be very delayed.
Top tower is under attack.
And it looks like Miracle's calling for some support on the map as well. Midas up for the Keeper of the Light. Says, screw it. If I'm not finishing my buckler, I might as well put this gold to use. Does get some extra golden experience, some late game sustainability. I think I've said that like 5 times today. But there it is. Midas Dota. In the meantime, just looking at some graphs. A little bit over 1,000 in gold advantage. A little moving towards 3,000 in experience. It's not that substantial, to be honest. It's notable, but it could change at any moment, in my opinion. One big fight, and it at least comes even. And I think it's going to be MiTH-Trust to force the opponents to actually act. Although Phantom Lancer is a great late game carry right now, an anti-mage farming uncontested with Battle Fury is generally too much to handle. So we'll see. If Miracle can keep up on farm, great, but right now he is almost over 2,000, or sorry, over 1,000 gold behind, so we'll see. Smoking up, a great movement from them. They're going to buy space from Anti-Mage here. Essentially, it's going to force Hando to rotate to respond to this flank to gank, and that's going to give a ton of breathing room to Lakel's, who currently is falling back to farm the neutrals for the moment. But movement on the map, they see an illusion, not dispelling the smoke, and now they should get an easy opportunity to bring down Phantom Lancer. They have detection here, sentry wards for the Clockwork. They do throw out the Rocket Flare. Walking right into oh, there's a path block. I don't think he's going to notice it, though. Maybe he will. There was a path block. Now Lich is, out in the open, and they're realizing none of those are legitimate. So, a couple of illusions thrown out. Good scouting for Miracle, and the jig is up. Now, blinking in to try to lasso the Anti-Mage, but a counter blink coming out from Lakel's himself.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Dropping down the tower very, very quickly. 13 HP. It is going to fall to the Radiant. Clockwork looking for the hook, but conceding his tower as a result. Kind of tunnel vision there, and I don't think he can bring down Hannah. 2 creeps involved here with the battery assault. Yeah, now they're actually almost turning it around. Abba barely Force Staff out of the way of the Earth Spike. Good movement, but they're still not finding kills. So they lose the tower. This means the jungle has opened up a lot for the Radiant. And as we see it right here, tracking down the Lich. He is in range of the last, maybe not. It's a tiny, tiny range nowadays. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain finds a kill on the Phantom Lancer. A huge kill. Looks like action is broken down here, so let's check out that corpse. Down here on bottom, a double damage Queen of Pain. Using the Sonic Wave, the Scream. Just was Phantom Lancer farming with a little too little HP. Just, unfortunately, not enough durability to withstand something like that. Because, oh, wow, actually just realized this build. He didn't put any in Phantom Edge. I remember seeing this build when Phantom Edge didn't provide much as far as magic resistance goes. I remember seeing plenty of times where you would skip Phantom Edge until you have max Juxtapose and you have plenty in stats. But now that it gives so much magic resistance, I mean 10% at rank 1, it's almost a no-brainer. So, unfortunately, going for a less durable build might have cost Miracle some points here. Now falling very far behind on farm compared to that of the Anti-Mage. Right now, farming the top lane, picking up his Vlads, has a easy to kill Cold Camp in towards his jungle, and MiTH-Trust is doing pretty well at evading fights that they don't want to take. Right now they're engaging how they want to. They're blinking and forcing and whatever they have to do to get out of fights that aren't going to work for them. And as a whole, that's netted only 7 kills in total for first departure. So this game is certainly going to go late. That's just what these carries are built for, but we'll see how late and how much pressure is being put out left and right. Yasha finished for Phantom Lancer. A very substantial farm rate with a 391 movement speed. Very rapid propagation of illusions through his agility. He's going to have a lot going for him in the near future, but it doesn't seem like enough right now.
We three things.
Looking for an opportunity right here. SD gonna get caught out despite the safety of nighttime. 2 TPs reacting very, very quickly. It's not gonna be fast enough. Now, Clockwork in, but all by himself. Gets hexed, gets locked down to the low ground with that blinding light. Now Queen of Pain jumping in, eats a finger, but blinks away to safety. TNK eating a huge Illuminate. Everybody taking damage, but nobody dropping down. Except for the original 2 kills. Lion traded for Lich. Interesting spot for Abba to be in. Not sure if he forced himself or if he got blindinged, but either way, he is trapped up on the high ground. Takes a few punches from Roche. Roche punch him. Go Twitch chat. But that might just be their cue to enter the Roche pit themselves. I mean, they have the Vlads, they have the Yasha, but they're not really too confident about going against this Bat Rider, having the lasso just coming off cooldown. Vlad's coming out for Miracle. Not sure how I feel about that. I mean, Diffusal is just so core on this hero. You get good push out of the Vlads if you had Phantom Edge. Because he doesn't have Phantom Edge, he's not even split pushing. Like, he's literally just buying 5 armor and some lifesteal. I honestly hate this pickup. Like, I'm okay with Anti-Mage. He's in a good state. He wants to... Frick, games... I just want to talk about carry items, but they're making this a game. They're making it so that they at least get a few kills every once in a while, and the gold and experience trades back and forth. Actually, probably a hook shot. Rocket Flare will scout it. Now looking for Bat Rider. Blinks away. Hook shot should be on the money if they can just get vision. Radiant Vision is there. Dire Vision, just barely. Now he's in Vis. So. Oh! Force Step goes in for the Dust Cox and brings him down. Holy crap! What a Force Step from Abba. Oh, his hookshot was on cooldown. What the hell am I going? I am just blazing right now, apparently. Anyways. Yeah, hookshot unavailable. He's got more than one way of getting into the fight. Now, uses the Force Staff, jumps in, sets up 1 kill. VSR finds a solo kill, and they clean up the Ancients. Lakills gets so much cash out of the enemies stacking. So they waste the support's time, they claim the money for themselves, and now look at this net worth difference. A difference of 12.9 to 8.7. It's just going to get out of control very, very quickly. Now, Phantom Lancer with a Defusal 2 moving towards a heart. Great. A Yasha Vlad's drum. Nothing. So now he's getting Phantom Edge. He will be able to split push a little bit, but he's just falling behind so quickly compared to this AM.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Looking for smoke into Roche, scouting it out. Maybe looking for an easy opportunity with this Batrider lasso on the front line. They do find Lich. He will pass the Frost Blast, but he doesn't have the Chain Frost. Actually, might not even be worth the Batrider ultimate. Now the fight breaks out, and Kai is trapped inside, taking too much damage. There is a wall of replica. Finger of Death does connect, but beyond that, they get nothing. Surging in the Batrider to finish off Abba. No, their focus is Lakel's. He's out of mana. Shadow Demon falls very, very quickly, but they will not pursue onto the carry himself. So they're just going to push. They took 2 kills. They only lost the Lion. They'll go for the take as much as they can get. Right now they've been behind. They haven't really been able to get too much territory. They'll take the tier 2 as quickly as they can. Meantime, BSR farming up, moving towards... I hope that's a Maelstrom. Why? I mean, I understand the benefit of MiTH even towards the mid game. People will say like, oh, it's only good before the 15-minute mark or the 6-minute mark or whatever number they want to throw at it. It's still very viable for later stages of the game, but it would just be better to move towards Hex. It would. So BSR moves towards MiTH or Maelstrom. Either way, it's weird. I mean, that's what we're looking at, right, guys? Sure as hell isn't an armlet. There it is, MiTH. 25-minute MiTH from the Queen of Pain. Lincoln's into MiTH. If it works in a pro game, it works in a pub game. You're sure that people will be copying it tomorrow. Anyways. Looking at Hannah. Could get hookshot very easily, but they needs the follow-up. Do they have it? No. Not going to jump on it. They know that there's too much potential response from that tier 2. And besides, Lakel's is pretty occupied for the moment. Just duking it out with Roshan. Mono, oh mono. A couple of people spectating, but beyond that, he's just going to try to finish it off with the help of the Clockwork. So that's going to be Aegis the Immortal, and starting that cooldown so that they can move in towards Cheese Roche and stuff like that, which is great for the Dire in general. So they pick up the Aegis. Anti-Mage able to commit to a fight in full now, and looks like they probably want to start that up top. Though BSR is having fun in the midst of things here. I don't know. Clockwork, Rocket Flare, catching out the Batrider, Blink on CD. Gonna head for the hills. Miracle, TPing out. Will they be able to interrupt it with the hookshot? Didn't go for it. And for those that wonder, just because he would have hit the creeps does not mean that it would have not stunned Miracle. It has a radius, so it actually could have had a chance of stunning him. But if he wasn't in position, it's understandable. And it's off. So trying to pursue on a Batrider. He was doing some cheeky play. Now dodges out of the hookshot. And that means he's going to be able to TP safely home. Not sure exactly how he knew that they were approaching. There was no real vision for the Radiant here. Just kind of a sixth sense that he did not need to be in that position at that time. Now we see the Defusal 1 come out for the Phantom Lancer. Back to the basics. Back to the build that I feel will be the most beneficial for him in the next few engagements. We'll see. Right now he has 2 points of Phantom Edge. He has his Defusal 1 active. And it just seems like he's going to be in a much better place. Lakel's in a dangerous position, but no, he's just going to go man mode. Sees a courier for crying out loud. He could actually clean that up with the illusions if he microed them effectively. 1 second on haste. Yeah, this courier's going to be fine. Still, Lakel's in such an aggressive position, but could care less. This is split push Dota. You put pressure down on bottom, they're going to take mid, and that's only at half HP, so it's not going to be too difficult.
instructions.
So might discount for the game. One for Queen of Pain, one for Keep It Alight. We'll see if they ramp it up post 28 minutes or not. Now Batrider lassoing the Lich. Not going to get a Chain Frost here if they can just get a little more damage, but no! Here it comes, the vacuum, the wall. They're walking right through it to go on them, but they don't seem to mind. Tons of damage going on the Lion, bursting him down with the Queen of Pain. Still have the ultimate. Queen of Pain ultimate can go on anyone right now. Lubby is actually going to be killed by the Scream. Did get enough mana leak to make it so that Lakellis could not pursue. Now, full HP Miracle, going to try to do something to Lakellis since he cannot blink. Tons of mana being burned. Nothing from the Queen of Pain. Where is the support? Queen of Pain not willing to help him out here. I mean, he only has damage, no disables as of yet, but they burn through the Aegis. Taking it 2 for 3 if you count the Aegis, and 1 tower as well. Batrider coming in, immediately regrets that decision, forces out. But beyond that, they did claim the Anti-Mage's Aegis, and that's a really big kill. Bottom tower into die range, however, and with this siege falling, that will be in the hands of MiTH-Trust.
Dire's bottom tower has been denied.
And Glows of Haste on the Shadow Demon. You know what that means, boys. Money, 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 money. I can't even do that pitch. Like, my throat is so hoarse, especially from game 1, but from this entire day, that I can't even, like, remotely crack my voice towards that pitch. So, sad day. I'm sure you guys didn't need that anyways. Lion's had a bit of a rough game, dying 7 times over. None of them, in my opinion, his fault. He's just always been in the midst of the fray. He's always been trying to make sure his spells are as effective as possible, and as such, he's kind of the bait. So far, they've taken it a couple times, hook, line, and sinker, but that doesn't mean that they're at an advantage. Right now, MiTH-Trust, 17-12. Their Clockwork initiations have been on point from ABBA. They've gotten just some great picks, and they have some great damage. You get a Chain Frost off with a Sonic Wave, and everything dies very, very quickly. So it really comes down to the carries. It comes down to the late game potential of Darkseer's Wall. It comes down to if they get a Pipe of Insight. It comes down to how much Phantom Lancer can live through. Right now, going for Diffusal 2 instead of raw HP, so that he is sitting on 1200 HP, and although he can burn twice over with that, what is it, 36 mana burn every single auto attack, and very rapidly too with the Yasha, life stealing with the Vlads, it doesn't change my opinion that he's just not durable enough, and that comes back to the Vlads a little bit. But probably just going to go for the Mantis style. Harder to harass can wait. Lakellis has a different opinion though. He's going to pick it up outright and sit on 2500 HP. A lot to work with here, and those Mantis style illusions are going to get big. Clockwork goes in deep, maybe too deep. Forces himself out of his own cogs, but they do see Miracle. They have the potential to go on him, but Mana Leak keeps him away. Lakel's hexed up. The Chain Frost going on to bring down Batrider, slowing down Phantom Lancer. Aghanims is up. He can go for another hook. Just needs the vision, but he guesses southwest. And Miracle will juke away to the creep wave down bottom because they expected him to head on home. With that HP, with that mana, it's a reasonable expectation, but no siree. Miracle's got to get that money. And down the bottom, that's exactly what he's accomplishing, pushing down the tier 2 rapidly, while MiTH-Trust kind of wastes some time on the backdoor regen.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Still not working, guys. Still not working. There it goes. So, 23 armor for the Anti-Mage, even dodging out the Illuminate. Nice little play. But that adds up pretty quickly because of the Ice Armor, which is only rank 2 right now. And then, of course, the Vlad's itself, which gives some nice armor. In the meantime, Phantom Lancer's illusions spread in about, trying to get some farm, trying to get some easy push down on bottom. But that's merely a distraction technique. They're deploying their forces in the mid lane. They have everything they want in this push, but are they giving it up? Are they giving up the... I don't know. I'm not sure if that's going to reveal them or not, the way they played that right there. Miracle lancing, using his doppel. He gets a bunch of illusions on mid, but they are still going to successfully surprise them down here. Going for that Bat Rider lasso on the Anti-Mage. Can they get it here? Trying to. There they go. Bringing them down to the low ground. But here's the Clockwork in the mix of things. Great cogs breaking up the fight. Kills is safe and sound up on the high ground. And everybody's running. The fight has broken down, but not for BSR, who obliterates Lion right in the face. No way to get out of that. No hook shot to interrupt the Darkseer. But still taking a free kill. And that was probably the First Departure's most aggressive movement this game. And they still don't get anything out of it because of this heart, because of the knockback of either the Flame Break or the Blinding Light. And some great counter initiation from Abba, responding very actively. Now he has that Ags. Of course, he has had it for a little bit here, but I really think that now he has the mana pool to support it. So that means that he will be able to get multiple hook shots off, and this could mean a kill on the Phantom Lancer. We saw this before. You just get 2 kills on that carry, and that's the game. If at the 50-minute stage, that nerf to buyback is just very, very difficult to surmount. Losing all his mana, though, Mana Leak is working for them with the 4 staffs with the Flame Breaks. Now lassoing him back. There's a lot of HP, a defensive disruption. He does have enough for a blink away, and the disables aren't going to be enough to burn him down. They're falling to the illusions, in fact. So this is a difficult position for Lakelz to be in. He'll blink out, but he's really not lost too much. Like, they put so much into him, but he's so darn beefy. He's got magic resistance up to here. He's got 2,500 HP, rapidly regenerating, lifesteal, armor, everything you could possibly need. This guy is not going down without a fight. And so they can do some nice plays. They can drain all his mana, all 900 of it, but even if they strand him without a blink, he's still very, very potent. Roshan respawning in a short time period. It looks like this was a 2-minute spawner, so 2 minutes and 20 seconds since its death at the 8-minute mark, but we're just going to see it spawn right here, and if they scout out with the Shadow Poison, they could have an upper hand against First Departure, not knowing when it's going to be up. Coming in, 4-staff hookshot connects on top of the Keeper of Light. He 4-staffs out, goes and it succeeds with the Blinding Light, but looking for a Mana Void. He's missing 700. This is going to be a huge nuke coming out. Lakelz, 1 right click away, but he gets surged. The Manta style pops, but they can't finish off the Coddle. Now on the low ground to the high. Hannah's the one to drop down. Didn't vacuum, didn't wall, just dies to the Clockwork Rocket, and now they're looking for this tier 3. Actually, look at this Queen of Pain, so aggressive. Has that Lincoln's, has that Scythe, doesn't afraid of anything. This guy's pretty cool. BSR goes in, nets a lot of kills. Forces 2 buybacks, Keeper of the Light, Darkseer, both want to hold on. They both have, well, at least Hannah has the ultimate. And now Lakelz has no mana, pulling him back into the base, but here comes Abba, doing what he does. Oh my gosh, they even finish off the Bat Rider here. They get a wall onto 1, they get a wall onto 2, but really not changing the fact that their tier 3 is dropping rapidly. The only thing that's keeping them up is Phantom Lancer. Up here, they steal an illusion for their own army, but PL himself will be able to doppel away. At least I presume. Maybe Abba's got a great hook in store for us, but despite the range, he actually had vision for a second, I think. I think that flare scattered out just a little bit here. Can he throw another flare? Can he actually see this coming? No. He's looking towards the south, and in the meantime, Queen of Pain has finally met her demise. Queen of Pain, running for her life, being pursued to no end, but that Mana Leak is so good for chasing her down, and so they will finish her off. So in the end, 23-14, mostly in favor of the Dire, as you can see. Along with that, Anti-Mage obtains his Cranium Basher, moving towards that Abyssal Blade like no tomorrow. Unfortunately, he actually has to use that Abyssal really early in the fight because he's been running out of mana so very, very quickly.
Do it with flair.
And so we look at the beginning of the end right now. First Departure really needs something out of this Phantom Lancer. Miracle, amazing carry player, can do a lot with a little, but even now it seems like he's a bit outmatched. 19,000 net worth, it's not bad, but it could be so much better. Difficult position to be in. 10,000 gold advantage for MiTH-Trust, 22,000 in experience. Right now, Anti-Mage is moving towards some variation of 6 slot. He can still sell the Vlads, upgrade the BOTs, and Abyssal, but he's got 3 best in slot items in this case, and he's just accomplishing so much. So it's really on Miracle to do the split push shenanigans, causing grief there, and drawing out the game to the point where he can be the contending force. Because Anti-Mage versus Phantom Lancer is a battle that's been fought many times over, and the later it goes, the more it generally tends to favor the Phantom Lancer. But that being said, Lakel's Anti-Mage is putting out a lot of pressure here. And it's not just these 2 players, there's also a whole team at their back that has to play perfectly. The Clockwork Initiation, the Darkseer Counter Initiation, these things have to be completely on the mark, or it could cost either team the game.
And it's off.
Going for Roshan, bringing it down very, very quickly. Not the fastest Roshan, but doesn't need to be. There's no way for the Radiant to claim this. The Surge came out too late, and now they have the Aegis in their hands. And actually, they got the Sheep. They can bring down Batrider. This is what I'm talking about. One play, one mistake can cost them immensely. Batrider does not have buyback for 600 gold. There is some Phantom Lancer action on top, but it's not enough to stop them from pushing. Not enough to stop them from going for the mid lane here. Just waiting for the creep wave to kind of kick in. Actually, the Batrider is only down for 30 seconds, but a hook shot! No, just onto illusions. Good scouting, but Miracle's already safe and sound. Try so hard. Getting to a point where the Queen of Pain's almost considering selling the Midas, only like 15 to 20 minutes after purchasing it. But there is a huge pickup for Miracle. Easily worth the fact... Actually, he didn't even buy out for it. Look at this unreliable gold management right now. Or, sorry, reliable gold management. Oh, sorry. There was an item in the way. I thought it was a 1300. No, it's just 133. Anywho, so yeah, he did buy out for this item. Does not have buyback whatsoever. But he does have a heart. And look at these illusions go. 2,700 HP on each of them. Of course, they do take a huge percent increase in damage and can be cleared by Lakel's cleave. But at the same time, they burn a hell of a lot of mana, and the fact that they can sustain in the midst of an engagement despite things like Sonic Wave, it'll eat through so many Chain Frost charges, Battery Assault ticks, and deal a lot of damage, making him one of the most feared forces in this game. Jumping on in, Lakel's Abyssal, Hannah gonna drop down. Buyback is not available for the Darkseer. This could open up the entire high ground for them. Going deep, though. They are diving tier 4s. Sheepstick on Lakel's, interesting animation. Now, going back to try to clean up this tier 3. They get it no problem. Oh, a backdoor regen is kicked in. They're not bursting through it. The fortification's available too, but they don't pop it. No fortification. The lasso is disrupted. Damage coming in on the Batrider, but he will barely get out. Not without Lakel's changing that situation completely. Demonic Purge out on Miracle. They do have a gem somewhere, but they're more focused on keeping everybody alive from these pesky illusions, which are just propagating everywhere right now. They get one for themselves. Pretty big, healthy one, but I don't think that's going to be enough to create the army. Instead, it's Miracle that's on the hunt against 4 or 5. The buybacks have come across. They've gotten just enough gold for everybody to come back into this team fight, and it looks like it's going to be T and K to die as a result. Real's TPs, they fall back, and the racks still stand. Saving fortification, I thought was a mistake because of the backdoor regen, but actually turned out to be okay as they're able to repel it with a few more buybacks, but it did cost Darkseer a ton of gold and a huge death timer when he does end up dropping once more. So essentially Hannah has to be the most cautious person on the planet. Right now he has to always be next to somebody who can instantly disable. talking about the Hex from Lion, talking about the Scythe of Ice from Lubby. They need something to prevent what's been happening, which is just Anti-Mage jumping in, manting, and abyssaling, and finishing off Darkseer before he has a say in the matter. If Darkseer can live, they have a great chance of taking this game, taking a fight, taking anything they need. But if he doesn't, if he gets picked off, I feel that Lakel's is just too much going for him for Miracle to carry 1v5. So kind of a carry quap coming out with that Midas. He has the Daedalus that he's looking for, has the Scythe, which gives him a ton of intelligence, and the Lincoln Sphere allows him to be very, very manly indeed. Clockwork looks for the hook. The problem is these neutrals. Hooking on these neutrals would completely negate the initiation, so he tries to go north. Not going to find it. He just completely blocked off. And Lakel jumps in. He gets hexed up twice over. They stack their hexes. They stack their hexes, and they're not going to be able to bring him down. Instead, Lakel jumps in. Manly gets mana leaked and is just going to retreat for the racks. But even with his backdoor protection, he still has DD. Might be able to burn through it, but they think better of it. They know what's happening in their mid lane, and they don't want to give up towers for free. Not at this stage. So once again, Rat Dota wins out. Forces a fortification. And forces MiTH-Trust back. It's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't. And until they pick off Anti-Mage with an amazing hookshot, it's going to continue to be the case here. Rocket Flare flies, but he's invis. Not going to be able to catch him off. Even with a gem. So close. So close. But not there. Not quite. So, double damage goes to waste, unfortunately. They don't bring anything down with it, but now, oh my gosh, that Abyssal, the Batrider is gone. There's a nice little Earth Spike, but they lose one immediately, and they can't fight like this. They're in full retreat. Hex comes out. The hookshot will not connect, but they get enough damage to bring down Lion. And they're still looking for one more. Lubby going for the TP. They do have Chain Frost, but that's all that they could have gone for. And instead, they're just going to clear out these illusions and try to go for another push. Meanwhile, Cancer spreads. Some may debate it's not a Tuma, but I know.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Tier 2 bottom. Does drop down. Miracle will claim this, no problem at all. And that is moving him towards his next big item, whatever it may be. Butterfly. As long as he saves for buyback, I don't care what he buys. Like, he's in a great position right here. So, Daedalus, Butterfly, BOTs. All of it very, very good. Now invisible. Almost might get a kill on Lich right here. Like, this is not a good spot for Lich to be as a 4-staff. And he doesn't want to reveal that he's legitimate. I mean, he's playing with fire here. Miracle surrounded on all sides. Lakel's right here. BSR with the sheep. If he was found out, like, this could be so painful for him. But in the end, he slips through their fingers. And now is able to purchase his next big thing. Courier, what are you doing? Just supportive stuff, not a big deal. Actually, it might be a pickoff here. Yeah, there's the sheep, there's the Abyssal, and that's the second consecutive pickoff on Batrider. Now sitting on KDA of 2, 8, and 7. Having a pretty rough game. Compared to his previous ones with the Invoker and such, it's just not the same. Butterfly. Butterfly is what we're looking at. Courier going to try to make the long trek that direction. Lakel's actually might be able to intercept it, but it would be... It's all about luck in that situation. Actually, no, they don't have detection. Not on the front lines. Oh, they do have the gem. They do have the gem on Queen of Pain. There comes the Manta Style. They're focusing him down, trying to do what they can, but Lakel's losing a lot as well. Chain Frost coming out. Tons of damage, but only on the illusions. Another Hex trying to finish it. There's a Sonic Wave. Magic damage mitigation, but there's a hook. Locking him down. They will get the kill. He has buyback. He uses it. Batrider's back in, trying to make something happen, but already used a lasso to kill the Queen of Pain off. They're bringing down Abba very, very quickly. He's going to fall. Clockwork, Quap, both down. Flame Break here on top of the Lich, who is sent back and now napalmed up. But It looks like that's going to be the conclusion of those interactions with Clockwork buying back. Lakelz wants something, but he doesn't have the mana to really take it for himself. Or does he? Just barely gets the mana for the Abyssal, but immediately hexed in the retreat. Now the Lance burning his mana down once more. He losing the spread. They steal one for themselves. Will it propagate? Will it propagate? Not getting anything. There is one. There is one Shadow Demon illusion among the many. One copycat they can claim for their own, but not for much longer. Only 10 seconds left on that thing. Spread. Spread. No. Not going to happen, I don't believe. Which is unfortunate. They haven't gotten a single PL army this entire game with that Shadow Demon. So Queen of Pain waiting out the respawn timer. But a big thing is, of course, Phantom Lancer bought back, and he hasn't been able... Miracle has not been farming for the past 10 seconds... Or, bleh. Past while. He hasn't been farming since he bought back, and he won't be for a little bit longer. He does, however, have on the courier the Butterfly. Doesn't really have anything to save for here, just waiting for that 300 gold to pick it up for himself. Matching Anti-Mage's items. This changes the situation by far. 24,000 net worth versus 30.8. But just a Heart Manta Diffusal 2. I'm not even really talking about the Vlads, because I still don't think it's that big a deal. But anyways, all that going up against the Anti-Mage, who has the Battle Fury, the Butterfly, Abyssal, Manta, Heart, and BOTs. He's literally 6-slotted. There's no way you can upgrade from here. Like, you can try different builds, you can switch out the Heart for a Daedalus for damage. I don't know. It's just so difficult. 6 Battle Fury is the way to go. But for right now, just waiting things out. So as soon as he saves for buyback, he is set for the entire game. And Lakelz needs to then push with his team or control the map in some other fashion. Back to the buybacks. Queen of Pain has one. Keeper, Darkseer, and Shadow Demon all available. The rest still saving, still waiting.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Difficult game for either side to be in here. 50.5 minutes. We knew it was going to be late with these carry picks, but now I think it's on MiTH-Trust to make this happen. They're pretty much as farmed as they can be. Now coming in, actually, what was that hook? Just wanted to make sure that in case it was a Phantom Lancer, they had not only the gem in position, but also the stuns to make things work for them. Obviously did not actually happen, but there it is. Gem on bat, gem on clock. Both sides just trying to hold the line. Queen of Pain with a 10-second BKB, pretty big deal, all things considered. Any other items of note here? I've been talking so much about the carries, you have to remember there's 8 other heroes in this game. But it looks like this mostly just Ghost Scepter 4-staff action. 3 4-staffs on both sides. A lot of mobility potential, a lot of cool plays. We'll see who has the more skilled usage. TK MiTH. Yeah, that happened a long time ago. I forgot to commentate on it though. More illusions, trying to steal them for themselves. Getting nothing, getting nothing, getting nothing. So all they take is a tier 2, which was forfeited immediately by first departure. There was no contest on that one. And now it comes down to breaking that high ground. Roche is up. Easy pickings for Dire, and by all means, I think they need to take it first. But they might have different opinion. Aegis Cheese. Who knows? Just going for some siege. If you're gonna, one thing I have the opinion of is if you're gonna siege with illusions like Phantom Lancers, might as well siege the range racks, because this one doesn't regenerate AP. Melee, of course, does at 5 per second. So that's one thing that they definitely could correct. If they're sieging with illusions, either anti-mages or stolen ones, they really do need to focus on the range. But they're putting some hefty damage to it, and if they can bring it down, of course, that makes my point pretty much moot. But for right now, I really don't feel confident in their engagements unless they Roche. Roche changes a lot. But for right now, they just want the racks, and they're giving it to him. They're giving it to them. The lasso comes in. They broke the Lincolns, but there's a disruption on the Bat himself. There's a huge vacuum, a huge wall of rubber. Got everybody caught inside the cogs. Bat Rider flies away. Sonic Wave onto Lion, who has the Ghost Scepter. He gets destroyed, but buybacks are coming out. A lot of damage on the Phantom Lancer. Out of mana right now. Same thing with Lakel, is focusing down on the ranged racks. But 3 still up. The Radiant, they can repel. They can make sure that they don't go for more, but they have already lost 2 racks in mid. They do pick off the Clockwork for their troubles. Abba does not have buyback for 22 seconds and 700 plus gold. So in this position here, they did get what they wanted. They just lost the Clockwork. And 80 seconds from now, that won't matter. So great position for MiTH-Trust to be in. But they have to keep that pressure. They have to keep that going. They have to roach, and they have to go for another pair of racks. Oh, BSR, not a great spot to be. Bung Cell Roach. He is gonna be Bung Cell roasted in a moment. Blink coming off cooldown in 3 seconds. Will he find him? The last right click comes through. It's I also would have been willing to pun with Bung Cell Rotisserie, but not sure if that would have caught most of your guys' appetites for hilariously horrid puns. I'm getting tongue twisted at this point. Very, very tongue-tied. I haven't really eaten but a single bagel since this morning, but it doesn't matter. This machine runs on Dota, and right now we're getting some pretty awesome action, because even though the skill score is 33 to 19, with this Phantom Lancer at this position here, I actually don't know who's going to take this game. Yes, there's a 20,000 gold advantage. Yes, there's a 25,000 experience advantage. Yes, there's a 2 racks disadvantage and a dire side Roche advantage. But when you have the PL, the way the Miracle's been playing it, it's really difficult to stop you. Like, he is 5-slotted right now. Sell the Vlads, get a Daedalus, and you are good to go. Or actually, maybe even better, a Monkey King Bar. Monkey King Bar would be so much better going up against the Kells, who really doesn't have the luxury of purchasing one for himself. Nevertheless, Roche will fall. Abba to take the Aegis Lich, the cheese, most likely. We'll see. There it is. And meanwhile, some split push up top, moving towards that Daedalus. Daedalus isn't bad. It's not bad by any stretch, but the True Strike propagating to illusions, it might have... Essentially, Daedalus is better for Miracle versus anybody but Anti-Mage, and Monkey King Bar is better for Miracle versus Anti-Mage. So if his focus is on the supports, is on the Queen of Pain, who's always jumping in aggressively, then it is good to pick up that Daedalus. And as long as they keep their buybacks up, that's the key. Such a big series. Even if it's just 1 cup, this best of 3 means so much more to me than that, because this has just been such an amazing back and forth one that this really will show who can triumph over the other. It's been such a close matchup, but it's coming close to the end. Looking for a gank, looking to pick Miracle. They get the hook. They get the hook. Is there a Force Staff? Force Staff coming in for Lion. Miracle will be sent out. No, they just go for the fight. Could be a mistake. They send the PL to the high ground. He will actually get disrupted, I think. Hard to see right here. Yes, he got disrupted on the low ground here. Lasso comes out onto Abba, who has the Aegis, and will have the hook shot to get out in just a moment. So he forces now, dies to the fire, will come back up in just a moment. The only casualty with the Lion and the Aegis. Phantom Lancer in a terrible spot, but he just keeps trucking on. He got disrupted, he got hooked, but he survives, he persists, and he pushes. And that's what's happening on the mid lane. Meanwhile, down bottom, a mispositioning of the Bat Rider forces a buyback out. He has a blink, he has a force, but no lasso for 20. And this tier 3 is dropping very, very rapidly. A hook shot in, and he's gone. 1 crit from the Queen of Pain, and that is the permanent death of Bat Rider. 75 HP. Meanwhile, on the back end, it's Shadow Demon versus Phantom Lancer. 2 illusions not propagating, but enough to force Miracle back. Now, cogsing him back into the tower. Triple kill for BSR on the front line. Looks like... Oh, a huge crit! Look at that damage from BSR. He finishes that off, but the racks are dropping quickly. The hook shot comes out, gets a disruption. Lakelz is here to clean a house. Rampage for BSR, finishing off the Keeper Light in the fountain, while Phantom Lancer gets finished off by the racks. Now coming in to try to finish off the Queen of Pain. The Lincoln's is popped with the defusal, and then he goes for the Lance, bringing him down to below 50 HP, but it's not enough to seal the deal. Rampage remains. I think that's a bug. It's an awesome bug, though. I just want to have that on my screen forever. Rampage. Queen of Pain cleans up a melee Rex. Miracle pushes out the top, but they've lost so much. 5 deaths to the Queen of Pain. Losing the racks, now losing the tier 3, and this could be the game. Batrider's death is not permanent. He's coming back in just 8 seconds, but whether or not he'll be able to change their fate is a completely different story. Miracle trying to play cheeky, going for what looks like another Rampage. But anyways, Chain Frost comes out, bounces to the PL. They do have the gem. They get the Demonic Purge. This should be his death. They focus him down, and the PL will be fighting. No, the Cogs! The Cogs keep Lakelz out. The Disruption delays their damage output, allowing the supports to come back in. Really should have just focused him down when they had the chance, but either way, he's dead. Dead as a doornail. Dead as can be. And that will be the conclusion of the match. Rampage. Queen of Pain carrying it up, getting some right-click damage, some amazing ultimates. As a whole, MiTH-Trust playing a great series, and the GG is called. First departure, props to them. Fun, amazing Dota to watch. Completely destroyed the second game, but when it comes down to it, they could not pull away here. Lakelz Anti-Mage, very scary, and the pickoff potential with that Aghadam's Clockwork, finding picks on heroes like Batrider over and over, Lion once or twice. These are big picks, and they cost them dearly. Miracle wasn't in a position to 1v5 without support, and unfortunately that's exactly what he needed to do, because there was just too much coming in from MiTH-Trust. So in the end, MiTH-Trust takes it away. Queen of Pain with a Monkey King bar, a Daedalus, a continuous Rampage, and 26-10 KDA. Meanwhile, Lakelz doing work with this 6-slotted 8-0-12 Anti-Mage, an ending GPM of 732. Miracle did work, but he didn't go MiTH, guys. And you don't, if you're Miracle and you don't go MiTH, you pretty much just threw the game. Kidding, of course. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the best of 3 series. I certainly did. Concluding MiTH-Trust having the 2-1 victory over First Departure, but my oh my was it a close matchup. Can't wait to upload these. They'll be over on my channel at youtube.com/blazecasting in 1 to 2 hours as they get processed from Twitch to YouTube. And beyond that, I really appreciate